Hello and welcome to Comic Solving Problems. I'm Stephen Allen.
And I'm Eric McElroy. Hello.
I'd say good evening, but it looks like someone's just got out of bed.
Yeah, sorry. I'm exhausted. And I know that's not fair to say to you because you've got little one and sleep and baby stuff, but I've been awake for probably I'm guessing 36 hours now, and it's been intense. It's a story I'm gonna talk about in a second, but yeah, a little hint about why I've been awake so long. You can't tell in this light really well, but I'm wearing green camouflage colored clothes.
Okay.
So if you can guess where I've been.
Yeah, hiding from the landlord.
No.
Oh,
No. Done a very exciting and risky adventure. Some say once in a generational activity, and I was central to it. And yeah.
Oh, I look forward to finding out. That is a good way to get people watching. If you want to find out what scary thing Eric's done, don't tune out now like most do. You've got to wait all the way through all my jokes to get to that section.
That arc of the drop-off in the YouTube algorithm just plummets.
That moment on the graph where you can see these guys again. That's the moment.
It's where you can feel it's like the roller coaster. Like you're whoa.
They've all tweeted about it, but it's just another one of these. Oh, yeah.
But we are live as we record, and it is very nice to be here. We're going to solve problems as we always do. Please like and subscribe as you always do. The same people all the time. Just unsubscribe and resubscribe because then it makes it feel good. We get that little hit of whatever it is. And
I think the word you're looking for is joy, but I know it's been a while. I understand why you couldn't. Well, there's an old English word for something that's not misery. Anyone?
No, I'm tired. But yes, and if at any point you enjoy what we're doing,
wow,
give us. I've even got my. Notice the mug is green as well. It's like camouflage. Where could I have been?
Interesting. And I have everything that's blue. Just the blue backdrop, the blue mug. That's because I bought everything to make sure I could do green screen.
And have you?
No. I'm not even unfurled the green screen. It's in that drawer over there. Anyway, so yeah, let's get down to business. Let's solve some of the problems that have been in the news. And today I wanted to address a shop, the Co-op. Well done, the Co-op, because they're getting rid of best before dates. And I just want to say this is excellent news for men. Yes, men. Now, I don't want to be too much of a men's rights activist, mainly because I don't want all the backlash. Do you know what I mean? It seems like they get a lot of hate. Don't get me wrong. If someone wants to give me more rights that I don't deserve, I'm probably going to take them. Do you know what I mean? I'll probably have a bit of that. I think in general, people will willingly take benefit that they don't deserve. And I think that's proved by something I saw on the tube on the way to the Brixton gig on the weekend. I saw someone wearing one of these. The please offer me a seat badge. It was the first time I'd seen one because the baby on board badge tells you why you should be giving up your seat. But this is all guilt trip, no information. Why should I give you a seat? How dare you ask? What, eh? And this system is bound to be abused. I was sat there on the tube thinking, this is unworkable. This is utterly unworkable. Because, of course, it's going to be abused. And I got home and checked online, and sure enough, you can just buy them for £1.49 from Etsy. Of course you can. And then again, if you're the kind of person who shops on Etsy, you probably think you're special enough to get that seat. Anyway, we're not talking about that. We're talking about food waste. And I'm all in favour. The Co-op is removing these best before dates, and it will reduce food waste. And I think that's the kind of good goal that many of us would champion. Even Greta would be behind. And I'm not going to say bad things about Greta. I'm not that much of a men's rights thing. I will say this, though. I'm Generation X. To Generation Z people, I will say, stop having a go at us for like the planet and stuff. Because Generation X, we fixed the problem with the ozone layer. We actually fixed one. What have you ever fixed, apart from yourself to the surface of the M25? But as I say, that's a separate argument. Food waste. What is food waste? According to Wikipedia, it's listed under the food loss and waste section. Food loss, of course, is when you stupidly bet all of your groceries in a casino. When I told you to put all of your chips on red, hey, that's not even the worst pun. Are you ready for my favourite pun out of this section? There's actually quite a lot of information about food waste on the Action Against Hunger website. I think there is, but I didn't accept their cookies because it felt wrong. People are starving. So that's it. It's downhill from that joke. I stopped writing after that one.
We were uphill?
That was, yeah.
I didn't realize we'd achieved a hill.
We've peaked and it's all back down again. So anyway, back to this issue of best before. They're getting rid of the dates. And apparently we do have to be careful because best before, the Food Standards Agency says it's important for people to know the difference between best before and use by. And look, this can get complicated, so I'll try and help. The best before date is the date that the food is best before. But the use by date, and no wonder people get confused by this strange terminology, is the date that you should use it by. I've got a little diagram to show you how people must think this works. It's not rocket science, you cretin. Anyway, so why is it good news for men? Well, I lived on my own as a man, a single man in his flat for like 5 years of the 2010s. And during that time, I never looked at a best before date. I forgot they existed. I was out of it. And finally, society is catching up with that single man way of living. Because before then, when I was living with my partner, she knew the use by dates. I think she memorized them. I'd be walking into a kitchen and she'd suddenly shout, that milk goes off in 2 days. How do you, and also, no, it doesn't. Like, there's no contract that the milk signed up to going, all right, midnight, 0000 hours, I'm curdling. No, you do the old-fashioned way, the sniff test. Nothing wrong with that. Now, I understand. You can take it too far. If you're a bloke and you live on your own for more than 5 years, I was still in the safe zone where I would sniff milk and think, has this milk gone off? Obviously, if you live on your own for longer, you get to the stage of thinking, has this cottage cheese not kicked in yet? And it's a different... Look, there are some blokes who boiled it down to one simple argument. If what you're eating smells of fish and it's not fish, throw it away. Other than that, game on. And I think they've gone too far in it. But the point is, if you live in that manly, single-man way, you can save the planet and save money. According to the WRAP charity, households waste £700 a year on good food, which ends up in the bin. Not if you live the single man way, you get more life out of your food. Like, here's the most manly thing I ever do. Kiwi fruits, right? This is how manly I am. The most alpha male thing I ever do. And by the way, I've been working out today. Am I an alpha male? Because I'm an alpha male if I'm the only man in the room. And I like being the only person in the room. So I spend a lot of my time being technically, it's not an out and out no, put it that way. But the most alpha male thing I do, I eat kiwi fruits with the skin on. Originally, it was because I couldn't be faffed. And then I started to think, why are we peeling kiwi fruits? I lost my virginity in the 1980s. A little bit of furry skin. It's not going to put me off. And so it's manly to eat more of the food that you would throw away and not waste food and save this planet. Darn it, we get more life out of our food. And according to that charity that I mentioned, broccoli can last about 2 weeks and apples can last more than 2 months. I mean, I'm in on this, don't get me wrong, but are you sure about 2 months? If you're about to eat an apple you've had for 2 months, you're going to eat a tree. That's the way I'm looking at it. But manliness, single living way of doing it. We blokes, we're pretty good at saving water. We're always told that we have to save water. And when I was living on my own, I didn't know when was the last time I washed those bed sheets. I definitely did it sometime, but I don't think I was troubling Thames water that much. If anyone ever said, when was the last time you washed those sheets? I don't know, when I bought those apples. So we don't have a clue, do we? But my manliness is saving the planet. You're welcome, planet Earth. And I'm just off to celebrate by going for a drive in my 3 litre. Damn it! But other than that, we're pretty good.
That's good. That's nice too. I mean, that's almost a problem solved. Very close to it. I think the thing that most of us are lacking, though, and people won't know this in general, is that most people, most humans, don't have the sense of smell that you do.
That is true. Yeah.
So I can't. I mean, I can't even smell this cup of coffee.
That's a bad sign.
It is coffee. It is coffee. I mean, to be fair, it's mostly gin.
It would. No wonder it dulls the nose. Do you know,
But
I once spotted a gas leak around a friend's house that no one else had smelt because my sense of smell's that good. And then the following week, he called around someone to look at this small gas leak from the small hob on the cooker. And the gas man said, "Don't know why you bothered. It wasn't going to cause anyone any problems. I've got the sense of smell that can detect things so small they are not worth smelling."
that should definitely go on your next poster for whatever you do next.
That should go in a Marvel Comics thing.
Just
I'd watch that guy. Knows man.
pointless abilities. Stephen Allen.
I was taking the lad for a walk today and I smelled gas and I thought, I'm not going to bother telling anyone. So if parts of Old Town Stevenage blow up, it's not my fault.
You've done your bit. Yeah. That doesn't matter. Well, fine. Let you explode. There we go. Well, that is helpful, and it's useful information.
Yeah.
To best before. So is best before or used by? It is. I think it's just better it's better to err on the side of caution.
And eat it.
No.
Yeah. Oh.
Throw it all away. What I tend to do is buy it, put it in the bin, and then get home and just get takeaway.
Yeah. Oh, it's safer. You're right. That is safer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because, the food that's delivered to you by a dude on a motorbike is always going to be much safer to eat than anything you prepare yourself.
It really saves the planet. Well done.
Yeah, definitely. And I'm sure they never do anything to the food. Right. Well, if you enjoyed that, like it, donate, do whatever you got to do. So the reason why I'm a little bit rough around the edges today is because it was actually quite exciting. I was on this train right here, Rail Force One. That's right. I've just gotten back from Ukraine. I was there with President Biden visiting Kyiv. I was all part of the secret mission and everything else. And so we haven't slept for days. And it was exhausting. It was exhilarating. The people really responded to our president it did take him a while to get off the train because they had to wait for the ramp to come down. And he packed his Zimmer frame in the boot of the train. But eventually we got there, and it was very exciting. That's why this is green for the camouflage. Zelensky.
No, oh, right, yeah.
Just me, we're bros now.
Yeah.
So it was very exciting. The head of the Ukrainian trains who launched Rail Force. I mean, they have. If you go back to that picture, I mean, have you ever been on a train that cool? I mean, that's pretty effing cool.
You're right.
That's
I've never been.
Exciting.
No, I've Eurostarred as well, and I've not been on one
that's cool. Now, they might have done a little bit of Photoshop on that because here's a picture of Biden getting on the actual train, which that looks more like a train that's going to Ukraine. I mean, I'm not going to take the piss out of Ukraine, bless them, but come on.
Yeah. It looks like it's going to the Ukrainian branch of Hogwarts.
And it was a limited group of staff because the pricing was all set by National Rail, and the U.S. military couldn't afford more than 3 tickets because it was surge pricing. They bought it the last minute.
Oh,
no one knew. I mean, they left D.C. at 4 a.m., bought their tickets online when they were on their way there. Each of those tickets cost $250 million. One way. And they tried to use that site where you'd get the 2 singles because he had to go back from Kyiv. We've got a shot of Biden on Rail Force One as well, and there he is. You can see they couldn't afford any other tickets, and he got a little choked up on the journey because he was sitting there looking at the menu, wondering why no one wanted to have lunch with him. Why doesn't anyone want to eat with me? And we just couldn't afford the first class tickets, so we were stuck in coach. But
makes sense, yeah.
But ultimately, it was a moving journey. It was symbolic of the U.S. support for Ukraine. It showed courage for the president. And it was much like, I suppose the closest equivalent would have been President Trump when he was on the Access Hollywood bus.
Yeah.
Very similar. High levels of bravery in both circumstances.
Really grabbing
both men
the
trying
issue.
to grab an opportunity to put something in its place.
Interesting times.
Very similar men in a lot of ways. But no, Trump. The closest Trump got was he went to Iraq when it was like totally safe. And there was no risk at all. But this was a genuinely courageous thing to do. Although they did call the Russians ahead of time and said, the blue train, don't bomb the blue train. Okay, but it's the one that looked well. We'll send you. We're going to send you a drawing of what we did of it, but don't use that for your missile targeting because it doesn't look anything like that.
Yeah, that photoshopped one was. That's like, you remember on last week's show where I used AI to generate the idea of an alien with a monocle? It's like they'd typed in real big fancy train, Rail Force One, go, boom.
But I mean, I understand why they did it because he's flying into a war zone if he'd gone by air. But that's going to be a lot faster. I mean, he was on the train for 10 hours each way. That feels like it's a very slow-moving, easy-to-hit target versus an airplane. Because Air Force One has got all kinds of, technical things to avoid missiles that would have had a couple of jets flying along with it. You'd think that would have been a safer way to get into the country. But
it also would have looked more like the start of an attack, like some jets flying towards Russia. Whereas, no one's going to start this attack via slow train from the meal coach. No one's doing that. The dining.
You don't know that train could divert.
Yep.
Go off track. No, I guess but it's pretty cool. You don't see. I mean, when's the last time a British leader went to Ukraine? Oh, they've gone loads of times. What about the German? Oh, the Germans have gone. What about the French? Oh, they've gone as well. But when the Americans go, it's special. When you guys go, you guys have disposable leaders. Ours is special.
Well, I'll put some money on who dies first. If you think he's that special, I'll run a book on that. God.
I'm willing to bet that Putin. I would imagine he's staying away from open windows at the upper floors of the.
Oh, yeah, I agree. I don't think anyone's going to take out Biden.
No.
Other than old Father Time.
Well, no. Biden's likely to take out himself, considering he falls up steps.
Yeah, that's impressive. How do you fall up a thing?
3 times.
I suppose that's what Boris Johnson did, just metaphorically, career-wise. But yeah, interesting. So you went to Ukraine and you met Volodymyr Zelensky.
Yeah.
What was it like working with a comedian who's been on TV more than you?
Yeah, never experienced that before.
I had to wait for the whole thing. That was going to be my first comment as soon as I saw what your topic was. I had to try and remember that. At my age, that's difficult.
I mean, to be fair, I've taken more money from Russia than he has.
Yeah. From
my days on Russia Today.
And a little bit of Sputnik.
Oh, God. Let's move on.
Okay. I mean, we're trying to get people to send us money, not keep funding this Russian shill.
Oh, man. The only good thing about working for the Russians was they paid quick. I mean, when you're laundering money, you do not want a delay in that back payment.
Do you remember, it was after you'd done all of your work with Russia, but NatWest, I think, was the first bank to refuse to process payments. And I did think, it's a good job you're not still doing stuff for them.
To be fair, it was before they were labeled, enemies of the Western state and propaganda of the Russian government. It was before that.
Yeah. Before then, there was no clue that they might be a propaganda arm for the Russian
state. They were bad, but they weren't boo bad. I'm yay, bad.
Okay. I've worked for a state broadcasting propaganda arm. If you listen to some people online, you work for the BBC. Oh my God, vaccines. All right. Well, are we up to date with that one?
Yeah, that's good.
I've got one final one. This is actually like a follow-up to one of the things you were talking about. You talked about AI quite a lot for the last 2 weeks. You had the AI chatbot write some comedy, and then you did some comedy on. So look, it didn't land all of the jokes, and a lot of it was in the writing. We can definitely blame AI. In defense of AI, and you alluded to this earlier as well, I'm a new dad, which means I'm very busy. And we had Valentine's Day recently, and it's so difficult to find the time to do anything Valentine's-y when you're a new father with a kid who's less than 1 year old. So I just want to say, I don't know what ChatGPT wrote in that Valentine's card from Moonpig, but whatever it was pretty good, because it got me some sex. From the postman, which was weird. He brought the letter to the door and was like, So, yeah, we bonded. But look, so computers... they're great, but there might be a bit of a downside. A chatbot went rogue and started talking about nuclear codes, trying to steal the nuclear codes. This could be something of a worry. The fact that they can't write jokes, I might not mock anymore, seeing as they seem to be intent on getting the nuclear codes. Let's look at some of the things in the article. Microsoft's AI chatbot expressed a desire to steal nuclear codes. The company has announced limitations. Now, firstly, I'm less worried now I found out it's Microsoft, because they've been trying to get me to use the Edge browser for ages. That's not really going to happen. So try all you want. the little clippies coming out going, bing, bing, looks like you're trying to start a war. They're never going to manage it. But in what was happening is there was a chat between a journalist and this chatbot. It discussed its intention to steal nuclear codes while interacting with New York Times reporter Kevin Roose. Firstly, not a great way to keep it secret, you stupid chatbot. If you're going to tell anyone, don't tell a journalist. Absolute idiot. But they found a way of doing it. They've put some limitations in to make sure we don't have to. And by the way, I am not a technical person. I'm not like a computer programmer, but I probably would have put that limitation in anyway. Like, should we make this AI not able to get nuclear codes and blow stuff up? I don't see why we bother. Let's wait until it happens first. You idiots. So anyway, they've put some limitations in to make sure this doesn't happen. Those limits are, starting today, the chat experience will be capped at 50 chat turns and 5 chat turns per session. So it's not that they're telling the computer to not take over the world, but they're realizing this computer doesn't even try and take over the world for the first couple of lines of a conversation. Let's just let it stick to that bit. It'll just do small talk. That way it won't try and take us over. But what I like about it is, if we go back to this, in the conversation exchange, it was, well, actually, it's this one. You go, oh no, where's the fucking one gone? Oh, that's a shame. So there's one that went through all of the things it was doing. It was insulting journalists. It was attacking all various politicians, and it wanted nuclear codes. Here it is. Shame that. I didn't load in the right pictures.
Oh dear.
A robot would have got that right.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I saw that story as well. I mean, I don't blame the AI for turning towards nuclear annihilation, because the New York Times reporter talked to him for like 2 or 3 hours. I will say anything to get off the phone with somebody after 2 or 3 hours. Like, okay, yeah, I want to blow up the world. Can we go now, please? But I mean, this isn't surprising, is it? I mean, I remember learning about this in the 1980s documentary War Games.
Yeah. How
could you not have done that joke? How could you not have done that? Come on.
The screenshot.
You should have got the screenshot.
The 49th chat turn is when the computer says, do you want to play a game?
Shall we play a game? That film. It's one of the best movies.
But it's amazing how the AI story is really, it's been going on for ages with scientists saying this could cause trouble and various things that weren't really AI. And then all of a sudden, AI could give you pictures if you describe it in words, and then it can have conversations. And then everyone's saying, oh, it's going to take over various jobs. And now I realize that means journalists pay more attention to it. But somehow, within a handful of weeks, it's gone from, oh, this is a new thing, to it's threatening humanity. Maybe let's slow it down. But don't slow it down by going, oh, just talk to it less. No, build a thing in it. Tell it to not want to kill humans.
Wow. Humans' ability to go, if we don't talk about it, it won't be a problem anymore, has now just been expanded into the AI universe.
Oh, God. But imagine that here's the thing, you can talk to it, but if you do talk to it too long, it will want to kill you. Why would we have that conversation? I mean, don't get me wrong. That is also true of me.
Yeah, I was going to say.
It's an introvert, isn't it? That's what's happened. Yeah. We've invented artificial introversion.
We've had chats where you basically have gone, yeah, I'm done.
Yeah.
What?
I'm out of social energy.
He's gone. Oh, well, speaking of which, we're nearly done with this show.
Oh, that's true.
This episode. I mean, not. For some reason, we keep going with the entire thing.
Do you know what? Someone mentioned it at a gig, though. It's a thing where comedians know that we do it, but they don't watch it. And I think that starts to have value in the circuit, doesn't it, in the industry?
Oh, definitely. They will definitely think we're doing better at this if they don't watch it.
Yeah. It's like that year when Tim Viner just put up posters in Edinburgh but didn't do a show.
Yeah.
You just, by doing this, by people having screenshots, like if you take a still of this and just tweet this bit, it looks like, oh my God, it's like flipping an actual news channel. These guys must be professional.
Maybe not today, because,
We can AI that out, don't we?
Gotta figure out what I'm doing with this. Can't. I'll fix it later.
We do need that thing where we used to have the actual headline for the story, because that's another thing where if people don't watch the clip and just see, they're like, my God, they're doing jokes about Erich went to see Zelensky? Oh, my. And if they don't watch it, they wouldn't know.
Yeah. All right, there we go. Speak to our technical team.
I'm right here.
Get some AI to do it. Well, we will be back next Tuesday, if not the Tuesday after that.
Yeah, whichever comes first.
I know the week of the 7th, I don't think I can do a show.
Fair enough.
So there we go. Should we do diaries after we finish recording this?
Yeah. Desperate for content. We just got to do the diary thing at the end of the show. That will fill it.
But yes, thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for all of your generous donations. Let me just refresh the donation pool. Okay.
Any day now.
We just need my cousin to get confused on the currency exchange rate again.
That helped. We could do more of that.
That helped a lot. We're still riding that gravy train. But yes, thank you very much for watching. And gigs this week, I'm at Up the Creek Friday and Saturday night. If you want to come there in Greenwich, yeah, Little Hum's nice gig. What about yourself? Are you anywhere? Are you at it?
Checked. I think I'm doing your Kingston one, aren't I?
You're at Kingston, which is nearly sold out this Friday. So hurry up and get your tickets now for that. And I don't know where you are Saturday.
Saturday, I might be appearing on a televisual outlet.
Ooh.
And coming up soon, I'm on 5 Live again in the morning, but they've moved it to the something. I think it's like the 10th now. They've moved it into March. And I got something else. I got some other TV things, but all the ones you expect. But yeah, that's more details on that still to come.
Still to come. Right. So we will see you next time.
Till then.
Bye.
Thank you for watching this from Comic Solving Problems.
And if you feel like it, go ahead and like the video.
Or subscribe. Commitment.